yeah, if you think you're going to do it in your own strength, then you know what? Yeah, you can do it.
COVID, it's been helping people move their businesses from offline or brick and mortar to online.
Systems are more important than skills as an entrepreneur today.
It's totally okay to reinvent yourself multiple times, especially when you're an entrepreneur.
Welcome to Profitable Coaching Conversations with Wendy Y. Bailey. If you're a coach, speaker, or industry expert, you're in the right place for sales and marketing wisdom and insight to grow your coaching business. Now, here's your host, Income Acceleration Mentor, Wendy Y. Bailey.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to this episode. It's Wendy Y here, and as always, I'm really excited to bring to you amazing guests, and today's guest is no different. Rodney Daut is known as the compelling offer coach. We're going to talk about what that looks like in just a minute, and he's also the author of a book called Compelling Offer Blueprint, which helps coaches and consultants get more clients saying yes to their offers. He's a former teacher turned educational consultant turned compelling offer coach. Welcome, Rodney.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
Yeah. You've had an interesting background. Tell me how you went from teacher to educational consultant to compelling offer coach. And you've been doing this now since 2003. So tell me about that journey for you.
So I was in education. I was a public school teacher. And during that time, I had struggles with, various issues like procrastination and stuff, which is bad for a teacher. And I ended up meeting these coaches who helped me, learn strategies to be more productive and more effective. And I thought what they had was amazing. And I thought it was also a shame that they didn't have more clients, that they were actually struggling in their business. I thought, well, what you have is really great. It's really helped me. You should be able to sell this stuff. Yeah. And they weren't. And so that's kind of what led me to, I said, I want to get trained in what they're doing and I want to kind of build this business. So after I got trained in what they did, I actually left teaching and I was a coach and I was coaching people and I had to learn how to market my practice. And then they ended up being my very first clients because as I was learning, I said, hey, I can help you guys figure out how to do this and how to get the clients and fill your trainings and all that. So that's kind of what led me down that path.
Wow. I love a good, rise from the ashes kind of story. And it kind of sounds a little bit like that. I know that the name of your business is Self-Influence. Tell me a little bit about what that means for you and why that name.
So I created that because I was writing, about coaching and about, self-help and how you can help yourself. So I liked the idea that you're finding ways to influence yourself, not like using kind of like willpower and pushing and making yourself do things, but you're actually like, what is it that influences me to be my best? How do I create those factors? How do I organize those factors into my life? And so like the earliest articles are all articles about what things that spark your motivation, things that do to make you more grateful, that kind of feed into that automatically instead of kind of really pushing yourself. So that was the idea behind that.
I love it because to me, what it says is you get to choose what happens in your life. Like you have some accountability, some responsibility, and that's really empowering. So I love the idea of self-influence.
Yeah. And the thing I love about that is, people are already trying to change. We're already trying to influence ourselves. And it's kind of like, what are the pathways that do that the most effortlessly, the most automatically? There can be simple things like if I change something in my environment, then I might automatically respond differently. If I put the health food in the front of the refrigerator, I'm more likely to reach for that, Yeah. So little things like that, but also big things too, even things like on my desktop, I ended up changing like the photos that it shows. So it shows me like people that I care about, and other people have other things, but there are little things that people can do to influence themselves. And so that's what a lot of that was about.
I love it. And how did you begin the art? Like you told me a little bit about how you went from teacher to educational consultant to compelling offer coach. What was it for you that led you to understand and just wholly embrace, wow, I'm particularly gifted at this, so this is what I want to do. Compelling offers is what I want to help people with, because that's a very, very fine niche.
Mm-hmm. Uh, Probably because this, I'm really just interested in it. Like I love being able to, it's kind of like solving a puzzle. You've got somebody who's come to you and they say, look, I need to get more business. And so I look at what they're doing and who their clients are and ask them questions and say, look, let's figure this out. We can find out something really compelling that you can deliver that'll make people curious about what you do. And so that's kind of what led me that way. It's just kind of like, oh, because the offer really is a keystone of what the whole business is going to be like,
For sure.
how it's going to
Yeah,
succeed.
for sure.
So it's really the starting point. And there's more that you can do after you have your compelling offer, but a lot of the other things just don't work without a good offer. And so that's why it's a really great starting point for almost everybody. And even somebody who has an established business, if they want to create a new thing in their business, well, they're going to want to really craft that offer in the most ideal way. So that's kind of, and that's actually what I started with them. The first people I helped, it was really the offer. I mean, that they didn't have a compelling offer. They had a compelling service. Well, actually, but they had a compelling results, I should say. They had compelling results, but without a compelling offer, people weren't even going to get the results unless they just happened to be taken, to be influenced to get involved in it, but not enough people were. A lot of people were kind of saying, "Oh, that's nice," which is the kiss of death.
I think what a lot of people don't understand is it's not a situation where if you build it, they will come. You can build something really wonderful and compelling and transformational, but if people don't understand from your message, from your offer, how wonderful it is, they just kind of go, oh, nice field, because that comes from what, Field of Dreams.
Exactly.
Nice field that I see over there. Somebody's going to really enjoy that field over there.
Yes.
It just doesn't work that way. And, the thing I know about, we share a common ideal client in coaches and consultants. And the thing that I know about us as coaches is we don't always understand that that's so crucial. We think, oh, well, it's more than the build it and they will come. It really becomes oh, I just love what I'm doing and people will see my passion and they'll want to work with me because they see my passion. It just is so not about that.
Yes, exactly. And it is an important element. It's an important element, but it alone is not enough. It's just like they say, in marriage, love alone is not enough. You gotta have communication.
Much more to it than that. Yeah.
Same thing with being a parent. You love the kids, but then you still have to know how to feed them. You still have to know how to educate them, how to discipline them. You still need all the other skills, and love is a very important cornerstone, but it also needs to be supported by other elements. And same thing with business. Passion is great, but the other elements must be there. I mean, there's a lot of passionate business owners who go bankrupt. So we do need other elements. Yeah.
And go back to work for other people.
Exactly. Yeah.
I did just coincidentally, I did a bonus episode that airs well before this does in December, and this is airing in February. And it was about how to create high ticket programs that sell. So I didn't always use the word offer in what I shared, but the thing that I was very clear on when I shared the content for that episode, and it's one of those snack size episodes. And the thing that I was pretty clear on is that people will buy the transformation. So compelling offer is about being able to first identify that transformation, right? And then articulate the value that transformation really brings. So what do you say to something like that? Like that's kind of the nutshell of what my bonus episode was about. But what do you say about that?
So I have 3 components that I help people create when they create a compelling offer. So the first one is, what's the problem? What's the problem they want to get solved? And the reason for that is people are much more motivated to solve problems and get benefits. So if your program, even if it's an exercise program, I say, what's the problem? Because the problem could be they're not following through. The problem could be that the exercise they're doing hurts them, or that it's too boring. So you want to find that problem. Now, once you find the problem, then you need to have, what's the result? So after they're through your program, what do they have? Are they now more motivated to exercise? Or are they in better shape? Do they have bigger muscles? What is the thing that, and it should, as much as possible, be clear that the finish line has been crossed. That's not always possible, but as much as possible, do that. And then the third is, what's the system? Because once you've said, oh, you're going to take me from this problem down to this solution, to this result, what's the system that gets me there? And so the big mistake some people make is, I'm going to tell you.
You're speaking my language.
Yes.
I love it. Yes.
People make mistakes at every single point along the way. So with problems, when I'd ask some coaches, oh, what's the, I asked a relationship coach a while ago, what's the problem that you help them solve? And she's like, well, they've got self-esteem and they've got this and they've got that. And I said, okay, so is that your diagnosis? That's your diagnosis of what's going on, right? Yeah. What is the thing they complain about?
Right.
What's the problem from their
It's not about what you think it is.
Exactly. Again, then you say, you're the expert. You may be right about what's going on with them, but that's not how they see it. You start with how they see first, the problem they see. Then when you deliver the result, I still wouldn't talk about all that stuff yet. That's the thing, that coaches get too much into their jargon of their field sometimes. And say, no, what's the result? Oh, the result is I want to have let's say the problem in the relationship was arguments. They're arguing a lot. What's the result? Oh, the result is whenever there's a disagreement, we can resolve it amicably. That's a pretty wonderful result for somebody who's arguing a lot, right? And they'll be like, really, that's it? And that doesn't sound as big as my program. I'm like, trust me, if you're in a relationship where you're arguing every day, that's awesome. That's a great result, to be able to be like, oh, we can have a disagreement and then we don't have to not talk to each other for 5 days. I think that's pretty cool to be able to like disagree if you have that. So they all underestimate the result. Exactly. They also sometimes underestimate that this result's so important because it doesn't sound so grand, but it is to the person who has the problem. Yeah. And then the third thing is, what's that system? And so if you have steps that you take people through, and if you don't, I'll help them to determine the steps. And that gives them confidence that you can deliver that result and solve that problem. And one of the things that happens with coaches sometimes is they're like, well, my work is intuitive. I kind of know what to do in the situation. And I say, I bet you're right. You probably do have the intuitive skills to do this. However, imagine it from the client's perspective. Intuitive me, you're just going to kind of wing it. It doesn't give me confidence.
Tangible.
And so exactly. So I'll say, tell me everything you did with the last client. Make a list. How many of these things do you do with most of your clients? So then maybe there'll be a list of 10 things. There'll be like 5 things they do with most of them. I said, that's your system. You promised to deliver that. Now, of course, you're free to deliver extra stuff they might need you didn't specify. Nobody ever complains that you gave me extra, but you're going to at least deliver these 5 things, take them through these 5 steps. And they're like, oh, really? Yes, of course you can do that. And, and sure enough, once they have the system, the people start nodding and go, oh, I can see how this part is important and that part and that part. Oh, I see how all the puzzle pieces work together. Now you have they have confidence in you and your system. And that's the other thing too. If it's intuitive, you have to just promote you as a person. Like, I am just so wonderful. And that's not always terrible. But if you talk about your system, it's like, it's not you, your ego. It's like, this system works. And you keep saying the system works instead of I'm brilliant. Even your clients say, if I read a testimonial where someone said, Rodney's brilliant, right? That's fine. But it's much better if they say this system, the XYZ system is brilliant, because then it doesn't sound like I'm bragging. Even when I offer the testimonial, it's the system is great. So there's a lot of benefits to doing it that way.
Well, and it becomes more tangible than something they can't see. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think to your point, what I see a lot similarly with my clients that you see with yours is, they have a vision for what they want to do and how they want to serve, but they don't put it in terms that the client can connect with, terms that resonate with the client. And that's not just intangible, but it's very tangible at the same time. So you kind of have to strike a balance between the two and be able to express that in terms that your client understands. And then it becomes compelling, right?
Exactly. And you make a really good point with the intangible, because I can't remember the coach who first said that to me. He talked about selling the intangible, because when you're selling a service, that's exactly what you're selling. You're selling something intangible. They can't feel it and touch it and taste it. But when you give a system, it feels more tangible. It feels more like a product, because, it's the XYZ system. It's not, I'm buying Rodney's time. I'm buying his system from him. And the system has these components. And it starts to feel much more concrete and easier to buy.
Yeah, awesome. So we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we'll do our signature segment called the Profitable Wisdom segment. Be right back. How do you create sustainable success in your business? It means that you're focused on creating a message for your most ideal client that magnetizes them to you. They're clamoring to work with you because of the messaging you have that shares with them your ability to solve their problem. It also means that you're working daily, weekly, and monthly on the right actions to impact your bottom line profits. Yeah, you want to increase them, but you've got to focus on moving away from the energy drainers and the time wasters to work with people that you are clearly designed to support in your business. It also means elevating your sales game. You've got to be really good at selling if you're in business, and you've got to know the right way to step into your sales game and elevate it so that you're authentic and true to who you are, and you're able to really and truly solve the problem your client presents when he or she comes to you. I'm Wendy Y. Bailey, known as your Income Acceleration Mentor. And I'm so excited that I'm going to be delivering another Income Acceleration Day, and you're invited. It's a virtual group coaching intensive designed specifically for people in the transformation space, like coaches and speakers and industry experts and marketplace influencers and CEOs and entrepreneurial leaders and consultants, all working on making a difference in the lives of people. Maybe it's in their business, maybe it's in their personal lives. It's all about transforming the people you serve. It's virtual, no traffic, no travel. And when we get together, we roll up our sleeves and we create that messaging that you're really looking for. We also look at what your income producing activities are. We get rid of the energy drainers and time wasters in your business. It's also about understanding and identifying multiple streams of active and passive income so that when you focus on the right things, you know exactly what your bottom line is going to look like. And then finally, we're going to do what we need to do to elevate your sales game. It's a must. It's easy. I promise you're going to love wearing the new sales game that you have going forward. Income Acceleration Day is happening soon, and I'd love for you to join me. Go to www.incomeaccelerationday.com and get ready, because it's all about accelerating your income quickly, growing your bottom line profits so that you can create the sustainable success you desire in your business too. See you there.
Hi, I'm Dr. Terry Levine, and you're tuned into the Profitable Coaching Conversation Show with Wendy Y. Bailey. Like, comment, review, and subscribe now so you get notified when the next episode goes live.
So hi, I'm Rodney Daut, and you're tuned into the Profitable Coaching Conversation Show with Wendy Y. Bailey. Like, comment, review, and subscribe now so you're notified when the next episode goes live.
Hi, I'm Dr. Roberta Shaler, and you're tuned into the Profitable Coaching Conversation Show with Wendy Y. Bailey. Make sure that you like, comment, and review. Subscribe now so that you will know when the next episode goes live, and you'll be glad you did.
Okay, welcome back. We've been talking with Rodney Daut, who is a compelling offers coach compelling offer, Coach. I love that. It's sort of a tongue twister for me. We had a great dialogue a few minutes ago about what that really looks like and what that means. Now we're going to get into our signature segment, which always lends a lot of insight to viewers and listeners about what they can think of and how they may be able to expand their thinking in their business. So the first question, here we go, Rodney, is who
Okay.
has had the greatest influence on you in your life?
Well, that would probably be, I would have to say my mother. I'm pretty sure you probably heard that a lot.
I have. It's
One,
okay.
one of the things about her is she has always been a very positive person. So when I was growing up, my mother and father got divorced, and I was around 13 years of age, and he ended up moving to another state, the state of Washington. So my mother's there with us. There's four of us, my siblings, and she had to basically run that household without another adult to help. And I was the oldest, so the others are younger. And but she got through it. And then when she needed to make more money, she went back to school and got a degree in radiology, and she became a radiologist. And that's how she put food on the table and how she took care of us.
Yeah.
So and that was very difficult because she had to work, she had to go to school, and she had to do everything she did for us. And so I see that, and that always kind of helped me know that, yes, I mean, things can be difficult and it can feel impossible, but you can get through it. And I'll tell you that she never complained once during that whole time, at least
That's
not
what
to
I was
us.
gonna say. I'm sure it was the way she handled all of that as well,
Yeah, the fact that she did it, because I remember there were times that were hard. Like there was a class she had to repeat once, and she wasn't happy about that. And but she did it. She just never gave up. She just kept on going through it.
Yeah.
So I've always admired that and respected that. And it's always there's been times in my life where things were very difficult, and then I can think about my mom and say, no, my mom,
Yeah.
she would get back up and get up and do it. So
That's
yeah.
great. That's great. And what's the best business advice you've ever received?
Whew, best business advice I've ever received. Um, that is a really good question. Probably from a mentor of mine, Sean D'Souza.
Mhm.
And the thing that he had brought forth was this idea of you find that one thing that you need to do every day in your business. And so with a company that I was actually working for, we figured out what that one thing was. I figured out what the one thing was for me, which is writing. So I was writing, and it was the same thing for them. It was writing, producing articles. And literally last year, doing that completely changed my fortunes, and then completely changed their fortunes. So that was a very awesome piece of advice. And it's something that's very ordinary, but it's just, do people do it? Figure out what's the one thing you must do day after day, no matter what happens. And so I ended up producing dozens of articles. They ended up producing 50 articles, and we ended up selling out their program.
Awesome.
Which never happened. Sold out in 2.5 hours, and it was literally from consistency. So that was the best advice, the most ordinary, and also the best advice that I got.
Sometimes it doesn't have to have a lot of, cream and sugar in it. Sometimes just straight is the way you want it, and it has the most impact when you do. So I love that. I totally love that. And what's been your largest single sale in your business?
The largest sale that I personally made was $10,000.
Mm-hmm.
And that was somebody who was a student in one of the programs that I taught for another company.
Mm-hmm.
And he was just like, I love all the stuff you do, the content you create and everything. And, we got to talk. So I said, okay, we can have a free strategy session, and we can see what we can do. Well, he's a physical therapist, and he actually created his own program. So a big problem in physical therapy is you tell the person what to do, you show them the exercises, but when they go home, do they actually do it? And a lot of times it's because they haven't bought in. Some people are they're at the physical therapist, their doctor told them to go there, but the doctor may not have fully explained why, or they just believe that their problem is something else. And so how do you have that conversation that gets them to buy in? So he knows how to do this. He's tried teaching it to people, and he admitted to me, you know what? Most people, they're not actually getting results. They're not changing how they practice physical therapy. So he wanted to, so I said, okay, I had a program for course creation. So I had that to sell him. That was $5,000 program, but obviously he was going to need to market it. So I had a program I call pre-sell that teaches you how to build that anticipation so they can't wait to get in the door the day it goes on sale. So I wasn't sure which to offer him. And I said at the end of the call, I said, I'm not sure which of these I should offer you. He's like, well, why not just sell me both?
Well, okay.
Well, that was $10,000. So, because I said, we could do one program, finish it, do the other program, finish it. He's like, no, let's get it all done now. Okay, so.
I love it. Yeah, I love it. So, did you do something to celebrate?
What did I do to celebrate? Man, that was months ago, and I don't recall exactly. It was still during the pandemic, so
wow. Okay.
I would have wanted to go to dinner or something, but clearly that was out of the question. I think we did, I actually could go and check my credit card statements because I'm pretty sure we ordered food or something. We ordered some food.
Celebrate. I was going to say, if you haven't celebrated, it's never too late to celebrate.
Never too late.
If you go back and you find that there's nothing on your credit card statement specifically around that big sale, then you have my permission to celebrate now. Never.
All right.
It's never.
I accept that.
Yeah. I love when I say that to people. They're like, okay, they're like a little kid. Like, I can celebrate now even. Absolutely. It's never too late to celebrate. Never, ever, ever. So we all have those moments in our business when we feel like it's time to throw in the towel, to quit, to give up. What has helped you to move through those particular types of situations to save the course in your business?
That's a really good question.
Aside from remembering the example your mom has set for you, because I think that was a big one for you.
I'm trying to think if I had a time where I wanted to throw in the towel. I've definitely had some difficult times that got me going. I've had time I've just all of a sudden I was just tired. And this was not that long ago, and on one day I wasn't productive. I'm like, oh, that's just one day. Next day I wasn't. Third day I wasn't. That was not good because everything's gonna fall apart if I don't get going. And what helped me, there's questions I have regarding what I'm doing. So I look at what's just one thing I want to do today, and what good things will happen if I do this. So I actually write it down. Just thinking about it is not deep enough. So I write it down. What good things will happen if I do this? What are the obstacles? Include any internal obstacles, and how will I overcome them? And when I come up with a plan to overcome it, it just light bulb turns back on, to get me back into being motivated again. Because sometimes you're just off. And if I have the goal and the obstacles and a plan to overcome it, then it kicks me back into gear. So that's what I've done during those times. Yeah.
The other thing that I thought as I was listening to you is it's another system that you've created to support yourself that you probably share pretty readily with your clients. So that whole concept of a system can be as simple as that, or as big as having a complete process, a longer, lengthier kind of system for them and how they serve their clients. The other thing that I heard was you were tired 3 days in a row. I recently had a sleep science coach as a guest on the episode. And one of the things we talked about is sleep is underrated. People don't understand when you don't have enough sleep, it definitely impairs your ability to be successful.
Yes, it does.
So, so I just want to say that to you, that if you're ever tired like that again, your system works. Just remember, it may just mean that you need some sleep. You need a nap,
and it could have been that too. And I was just coming off of a few months of real intense work, and then it was finally done. And then it was kind of but then there was something more too, where it was just I was down, and not just tired, but just kind of down too, So
I get it.
So I purposely took rest off before that, the week before, or maybe a couple weeks before, and the day I'm time to get really back onto work, I was just It was just,
Yeah, it can be
yeah.
hard to maintain. You know, one of the things that I've learned in almost 19 years for me is I'm not a person who enjoys being on a grind. Like if I'm
Mhm.
ever in a grinding mode, I'm overloaded by the time I complete whatever it is I'm working on. I had a 3-day weekend this past weekend with a client, and I'm still feeling a little fried. I'm still feeling a little crispy, as I
Mhm.
like to call it. And it's not a lack of sleep. It really is an overload of stimuli. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like I've just been, I wasn't teaching or working, or I wasn't teaching, but I was definitely working the event for the client. And I wasn't there to be a sponge, a learner, but I was totally on, the whole 3 days. And so by the time I got to Sunday, I mean, by the time I got to Monday, which was the first day after the event, I was like, I'm not doing one single thing. My brain is in overload. It's sort of that picture where you see the sparks flying, like, the
Mhm.
system is getting ready to go offline. That's how I felt. So I
Right.
totally get it. I totally get it. And the last question is, what's your greatest personal accomplishment outside of your business?
Oh gosh. Because I've got married and have two kids, I can't say one of them, but
Is there
probably
family?
getting married
Yeah.
is, to my wife. We've been together for a while, and at some point it's like, it's time to really get married and starting a family. So that's really the greatest thing I've had, because really, honestly, all the other stuff is pretty meaningful without I mean, pretty meaningless without, the family and
Yeah.
the people that you're going to share it with.
Yeah. So
And so
true.
being able to forge that relationship and to, be a father to my two daughters has been pretty much the greatest thing.
And you're a girl dad too. That's an accomplishment as well. Yeah. Yeah, definitely, definitely. So we'll be right back and we'll hear from Rodney his parting thoughts. We'll be right back.
Have you heard about the new Black Business Directory? Welcome to Click Urban. Here, you can find hundreds of businesses owned by us. Whatever business professional you're looking for, they're right here. And the best part is, membership is absolutely free. Just go to www.theclickurban.com, sign up for a free account, create your free listing, and boom, you're done. Begin surfing the largest Black business directory online and be seen by hundreds of customers and clients all in one place. Get exposure on all of the major search engines, including Google. Our innovative platform includes search engine optimization that will make your listing easy to find. This is the hottest new business directory created for us, by us. Join today. Go to www.theclickurban.com.
Hi, I am Dr. Monique, and you're tuned into the Profitable Coaching Conversation Show with Wendy Y. Bailey. Like, comment, review, and subscribe now so you're notified when the next episode goes live.
Hey, this is Tanya Smith, and you're tuned into the Profitable Coaching Conversation Show with Wendy Y. Bailey. So make sure you like, subscribe, comment now so that you're notified when the next episode goes live.
Hi, I'm Barbara J. Faison, your mindfulness and meditation ambassador, and you're tuned into the Profitable Coaching Conversation Show with Wendy Y. Bailey. Be sure to like, comment, review, and subscribe so you're notified when the next episode goes live.
We've been here talking with Rodney Daut. He is with Self Influence. And he is, and I keep saying it and I get tongue tied every time I say it, but I'm going to say it again. He is a compelling offer coach. Did I say it right that time?
Mhm. Yep. Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
awesome. So we've had a lot of great conversation, Rodney. If there's one thought you'd like to leave our listeners and viewers with, what is that one thought? Think of it as the nugget of everything, the
Yeah.
most important thing that kind of bubbles up to the surface for you.
So of the things we talked about, the most important one is find the problem from your client's perspective. So, or you can think of it as the complaint. What is the biggest complaint they've got? If you know that, that will completely change how you speak and how you communicate to them about what it is that you do and how you can help them. So if nothing else, get that and hear them, hear their words, because I've been in situations where I'll say, what did the client say? And they say something, I'm like, that's not, and I'm like, client, is that what they said? Is that what you said? No. So I actually check in with them, write it down and say, here's what I think it is. And then I say, does that feel right? Does that feel off? And literally don't say, does it sound right? Say, does it feel off? Because then they'll be more open to telling you, it doesn't quite feel right, because you probably translated them instead of transcribing. And I actually want you, and that's the thing, transcribe it. Yes, ordinary language, it's not sexy, it's just theirs. And it's what resonates with people. So use their language, be a transcriber. I know it doesn't sound creative, but it really works.
It does. It totally does.
Yes.
I love it. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
And I know you have a gift for everyone. What's your gift? Describe it to us, and we'll put the link to it in the show notes.
Yeah, so I call it leapfrog, and it's basically the 3 marketing mistakes that coaches and consultants make when they are marketing their businesses. You can get it in the show notes, and the link in the show notes. And the really cool thing about this report is I use a lot of ordinary examples from a variety of different types of businesses. You know, somebody selling merchant account services, someone selling coaching services, someone selling consulting services. So you just get all these different types of examples even from broken dishwashers to stepping on poo, all these things and how they relate to, and it's actually fun. Like, people actually laugh sometimes if you watch them read it, they're like, oh, that was funny. So it's really entertaining. So that's one of the beautiful things about the book. There's actually photos with captions, and there's funny stuff. So get it, if for nothing else, get it to be entertained, but actually by the time you're done, you will know what these 3 mistakes are, and you will know what to do instead of those 3 mistakes. So it'll help you in your business.
Awesome. Thank you so much for being here, Rodney. I've learned and connected with you, and I've enjoyed our conversation.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm really grateful for the chance to be here.
Awesome. Awesome. So we'll be back with another episode of the Profitable Coaching Conversations show soon. Be sure to join us over at the Profitable Coaching Society so that you can download some free gift I have for you for being a member of the Profitable Coaching Society. So I'll see you soon for the next episode. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thanks so much for tuning into Profitable Coaching Conversations with Wendy Y. Bailey. Be sure to join us at the after party at www.profitablecoachingsociety.com. We'll see you next time for more sales and marketing wisdom and insight from Wendy Y. and her amazing guests. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you know when new episodes are posted.